What is going on, everyone? The Houston Texans fall to the Jacksonville Jaguars 31-3, and it was an absolute blowout from the start, right? With this loss, the Houston Texans, they earned themselves at least one of the first two picks in this up-and-coming draft, right? They don't have the number one overall pick solidified just yet. That goes to the, the game next week where you go against the Indianapolis Colts. They are starting Sam Ehlinger. The Bears are not going to win their game next week. So are the Houston Texans going to start Davis Mills? Do you start Jeff Driscoll? Do you do the impossible and even throwing Kyle Allen there, who hasn't played in weeks? Look worse than all three of the quarterbacks, but you need to lose this game. You need to solidify the number one overall pick going into this draft. Both the quarterbacks played absolutely fantastic this weekend. Bryce Young looked good, and C.J. Stroud had a couple nice thrown to games. But if you're asking me, I am still going number 9, Bryce Young. I think he's going to be fantastic in the Texans uniform. But nonetheless, this game against the Jacksonville Jaguars, it was interesting, right? The past 2 weeks, you have played really, really good football. You took three teams that are fighting for the playoffs to the very end. The Cowboys, the Chiefs, the Titans. You won against the Titans, right? A horrible coaching call lost you the Cowboys game. Hey, you lost to the Chiefs in overtime. But nonetheless, in every single game, you were chosen to be blown out. And here against the Jaguars, it was like, well, can they do this for a fourth week in a row? Can they be consistent and play hard and maybe not light up the stat sheet, but have a respectable day on defense, a respectable day on offense, like what they have been doing? And the question was no. And I think with this loss, I think the answer, the door is shut on this coaching staff. It is shut on Davis Mills. For Davis Mills, the last 3 weeks, you've played decent. You've played good. You had a very good game, game-winning drive last week where you found Brandon Cooks in the end zone. And, a game where the Jaguars are trying to clinch a playoff spot. It's your last game at home. The Houston Texans didn't win a home game all year. Their only 2 wins have come on the road. And yet you are overthrowing people. You absolutely look horrible. 22 of 40, 200 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Man, it's done. There is no more debate. There is no more questions. You need to go into this offseason needing a brand new coaching staff, needing a brand new quarterback, Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud, never Will Levis. But nonetheless, a change needs to happen for the Houston Texans. More on this game. Jalen Petrie is going to be a star in the NFL in a couple years. Another interception today. 120-plus tackles on the season. Shout out to Jalen Petrie. He definitely deserves to be in the conversations for Defensive Rookie of the Year. 5 interceptions is absolutely crazy. But, the defense, they're playing against a very good offense. Trevor Lawrence looked very good. And the Jaguars offense just came out the gates and absolutely just started lighting up the Houston Texans. Right? You cannot, it's a very good Jaguars team and fighting for a playoff spot. What did you think was going to happen? But nonetheless, with a game like this and looking into next week, I talked about it earlier. Do you bench Davis Mills? Do you start Jeff Driscoll? Do you even throw in Kyle Allen? Because you need to solidify the number one overall pick in the draft. You cannot mess this up for the Houston Texans. And just the fact that I even have to say this, it's absolutely scary. You could see a scenario where the Texans mess around and win this football game against the Colts. And now you're looking at the number 2 overall pick in the draft, and you don't know what the hell the Bears are going to do. You don't want that type of, those type of negative thoughts, haunting you up until the NFL draft. Lose. Lovie Smith better lose. If not, Nick Caserio needs to step in and make this Houston Texans team lose like other GMs have been doing. Nonetheless, the Texans were dominated today by the Jaguars. You let me know how you feel about this game. Let me know how you feel about the number 1 overall pick. As always, go Texans. You have a very blessed day.